In this video, all we're trying to do is simplify our equation, okay? So we're going to need to use order of operations so that we can deal with these brackets, and we have a bunch of operations happening and we want to make sure we do them in the correct order, okay? Now, the first thing I need to do is look inside my brackets or my parentheses. And one thing I noticed with both of my sets of brackets is the operations that are inside them, I can't simplify these operations, okay? I can't perform these operations because in both cases, I don't have like terms, okay? So in this first set of brackets, I have an x squared as in my first term. And in my second term, it's just a number, okay? In my second set of brackets, my first term, I have an x. And my second term, I just have a number, okay? So I can't simplify what's inside my bracket, okay? I can't perform those operations. So since I can't do that, I'm going to go ahead and deal with my brackets, get rid of my brackets, and then see if, once I've gotten rid of my brackets, if there's any terms I can simplify, okay? And I can see right now that there will be a term or two that I may be able to simplify. Okay, so this first set of brackets here, in order to get rid of the bracket, we need to look what's directly in front of it, and we don't see anything there. That just means that there is a positive 1 there, okay? If there's nothing written, there's always a positive 1. Well, if I multiply anything by positive 1, whatever I multiplied just stays the same, okay? So what that means is we can just drop these brackets, okay? We don't have to worry, nothing's going to change about them if we remove the brackets. So we can just recopy this. So that's 5x squared minus 3. Now, we cannot say the same about our second set of brackets, okay? When we look directly in front of a bracket, there's no number there, but there is a negative, okay? So there is a sign. So because there's a sign, we're going to need to distribute that through all our terms inside our brackets. And by distribute, I just mean multiply. So we're going to have to take this negative and multiply it by both terms. So first we have negative times 5x, and that's just going to give us negative 5x. And then we have negative times positive 3. And that is just going to give us negative 3. Now remember, whenever we multiply a negative by a positive or a positive by a negative, our answer will always be negative. Okay? All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at our terms and see if we have any like terms. So like terms means that they're in the same form, right? So let's start with our first term. We have 5x squared. Do we have any other terms that have an x squared in them? No, we don't. So we can just recopy it, 5x squared. That's as simplified as it's going to be, okay? Now, our next term is a negative 3. Okay, do we have any other terms that are just a number term? We do, okay? Over here, we have another negative 3. So we can combine these terms. So we have negative 3 minus 3, and that's going to give us minus 6. So we've now dealt with this term, and this term. I'm crossing them out to remind myself that, look at this, I only have one term left, so I can just copy that down, 5x, negative 5x. Okay, so this is our answer, 5x squared minus 6 minus 5x. However, this is not necessarily the order that we would normally write this type of equation, okay? The way we normally write this is we start with the term that has a variable of the highest order, okay? So the largest number in the exponent of the variable. So that would be this term here, 5x squared. Okay? Now next, we're going to look for, well, the next term do we have any other terms with the variable? We do, we only have one. And notice we don't have a number for the exponent, it's not showing, that means it's a 1. 1 is lower than 2, so that'll be our next term, negative 5x. And then we only have this one term left, right? The minus 6. And that's a number term. Traditionally, the number term should come last, okay? The furthest to the right, okay? So these mean the exact same thing. If you were to leave this answer in this form here, in this, the way we initially solved it, that is correct, okay? But in math, we have these conventions, okay? And that just means the way we do things in math, all right? And the way we do things in math is we like things ordered, okay? So this way, the way I rearranged that, that's the way we like to see this type of equation, this kind of answer written, okay? But they do mean the exact same thing, and they are both correct. So our final answer is 5x squared minus 5x minus 6. If you would like to learn how to quickly study for your GED exam online and get a new resume, then visit testprepskills.com.